well established. I ain't tryna lead you on, just wanna ask if you might wanna give me your name, explain your status. You know I see you time to time, you seem available. Don't mean I know these wanna settle you. Gotta say you on my short list of few. The other dudes is okay, but I'm feeling you. Want you in the best way. What you gonna do about it? Why don't you just test me? You won't want to do without it. No, I'm coming at you hard, eating the thug. And I ain't giving up till I get that gangster love. Always my tight, hair done, outfit crazy, skirts fit just right. White beater with a banging.
All right, so this is Gangsta, and that's a loving, and it features Eve on this very one, bringing the time to some 27 minutes to hit 8 o'clock. Sometimes I wonder whether my people in my village, they speak to you to come and disturb me in the morning, but it's all good. Stanley Baite is my right hand man in the studios of Love 93.5, and I believe you enjoyed that song there. So, the Love FM Republic Bank Habitat Fair 2023 will take place between, the 6th and the 8th of October. All right, so make a note somewhere, either you save it on your phone or you make some note somewhere just to remind yourself that between the 6th and the 8th of October 2023, the Love FM Republic Bank Habitat Fair will be coming your way. So yesterday we began, a series of conversations that would come your way in this month as we get ourselves ready for the Love FM Republic Bank, Habitat Fair. So we began some series of conversations yesterday. We learned a lot about land acquisition, land registration, and securing it. Now, we were taught that having the lease is an integral document to owning, a land. But the question is that enough under the law? Under the law, is just having the lease documentation enough for you to hit your chest and say you own the land? So today what we intend to do on Love in the Morning is to have a legal conversation about acquisition of a land, all the documents you have or you need to have, and the challenges that people have, and under the law, what can be done to protect them and to save them from losing money as they spend money in getting those lands. All right, so you can join us with any question you have on your heart or your mind. WhatsApp number is 05511119995. That's our WhatsApp number. Maybe you acquired a land from somebody who subleased it to you, and there are some challenges or there are some issues relating to it. You want some legal advice as to what you do. This is your show. Maybe some chief is dealing with you, give you some raw deal, and you're wondering whether to give up because you know how we revere chiefs in this country. You are wondering whether it's a done deal for you. You cannot get your land back. Every legal issue you have pertaining to land acquisition, my guests with me in the studios of Love 99.5 are going to help you iron them out and get your land back if need be. Once again, our WhatsApp number is 05511119995. So the Habitat Fair 2023, getting the right documentation for your land. All you need to know is just about coming up your way. Now, to help us with this conversation today, I have Kweku Obeng Miracle Esquire. He's a surveyor, a lawyer, and an author. He's also a consultant with the First Global Real Estate Limited. I was going to say Leonard. I have forgotten that. I'm not Leonard. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dave.
And how are you doing?
I'm fine.
If you don't mind, please draw the microphone close to your chest. Just drop it. Drop it, and then we're good to go. So just relax and let's have our conversation. Also with me in the studios of Love 99.5 is Mr. Kingsley Yao Sam. He is CEO, Land and Homes Consult. Chief, good morning to you.
Good morning, David.
Always an honor and a privilege to have you join me in the studios for a conversation.
Definitely, always. It's always good to be back home.
Yeah. This is home. Let me throw my first question at you, Mrs. Sam. How would you describe the land acquisition process in Ghana?
Wow. Well, I would say we have like different kinds of lands in different parts of the country. And so, for areas like Accra and the Volta region, we have more about family lands. And then when you come to areas like the Ashanti region, we have stew lands. Maybe go up north, you have skin lands, right? And so even though these are different types of land holding arrangements, the acquisition process also differs a bit, but it all converges at a point, which is the Lands Commission, right? So if you're able to go through like the various ways you need to do your due diligence and acquire land, you still end up at Lands Commission to do your final registration.
Okay.
Which is like a big government book that all transactions have to be recorded.
But looking at the processes itself, would you say that it's cumbersome or it's easy and simple?
Well, for now, it is very cumbersome, especially for people that don't have any knowledge about land. It's very cumbersome. We need to really simplify it. And then over the years, we've done a lot of work. Lawyer Obey is my colleague at the GHI, so we are both surveyors. So there's been a lot of good work done over the years, but we still need to consolidate it because like there's still a lot of challenges in the system.
What would you love to see happen to make it simpler or easier?
Well, first of all, we have some very good laws in the country.
Like, especially the new land law is a very beautiful one.
The new land act 2020 is a very beautiful one. We need to implement it. We need to also add a lot of technology. Now we have AI. We already have like geographic information systems, land management systems. So we really need to work with it. Like when you go to most of these, if someone is a family owning land, someone has like a family owns land, let's say in Accra, I can tell you 100% they don't have any record of the lands they are selling. You get it, right? Yeah, but I mean, we'll need to really add like technology and really need to put in place like lots of measures to safeguard people. Like nobody wants to dish out 10,000 cedis, 50,000, 100,000. Land goes as high as $1 million in some parts.
And as low as 10,000. Let's say someone buys about 10,000.
Yes,
as low as 10,000.
You get land for 10,000.
Oh no, it was Steve Zando actually.
Yeah.
It was Steve
Yes, I mean nobody
location.
I'll tell you, it's very important. Nobody wants to dole out their money to go and buy like problems or stress or litigation, right? So we need to really safeguard people's investment. It's like when people want to take money to like an investment bank or they want to take their money. I mean, there's this Deposit Act that protects people's money.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like buying land is like going to deposit your money, you know. So there should be a whole framework that protects individual. I know we are getting there. I mean, we are streamlining things. The government is doing its bit, and there's a lot of work still to be done.
So that's Sam. Sam is the CEO of Lands Home Consult. They sell lands. So if you want to buy some land, he's right here. He can sell some to you. They also build and sell. So we'll be talking about all that, shortly. Sure. One of the key things that Sam made mention of, Lawyer Mriku, is the fact that, and I mentioned it in my intro, one of the key, components by way of documentation one needs when it comes to land acquisition is the lease. Now, is that the ultimate documentation, or we need to have the certificate from the Lands Commission? Because he mentioned the Land Commission and mentioned that that's where they have a book or they have data for the lands that have been acquired in the country. So is a lease alone enough, or you need to have the certification from the Lands Commission?
Yes, Dave, thank you. Since we are looking at the entire country, the country has been divided into two different kinds of registration. We have deed registration and title registration. So if you have a lease and your land falls within a deed registration,
which one is a deed?
The deed is just to record the instrument, like the lease document. So you record the lease instrument or document. So if your land falls within a deed registration area, I would say that once you register at Lands Commission, that is the end. Your document is valid and is complete. But if your land falls within a land title registration area, you need to go further at the same Lands Commission to get a land certificate, a land title certificate. So they will convert the lease into a land certificate for you, and that also ends the registration process.
So until those are done, you cannot say that you have what do you call it? You have fully completed the documentation process of acquiring your land. Now, yesterday we were told by a gentleman who joined us from the Otumfuo Land Secretariat that the lease, they work on the lease and it's signed by Otumfuo. Is Otumfuo the sole king to sign the lease documentation, or the other Amahines can also sign it?
Yes, Dave. For Kumasi traditional area, there are sub caretaker chiefs who work under Asantehene. So, for example, if your land was sold to you by Dadieso Abahene will sign, and Asantehene will also sign as a confirming party.
If his signature is not on the document, is it valid?
Asantehene's signature.
Yeah,
it's not valid.
Okay. Although you have that of the Dadieso Abahene on
yes,
it. Okay.
It's not valid.
Okay.
But if you move outside the Kumasi traditional area, like Ofenso area, Jabin, Ejoso, Mampong, Asantehene does not have to sign.
Oh, okay.
Once the Omanhene signs the lease document, it's valid.
Okay.
You take it further to register at Lands Commission.
I see. So listen, we're talking about land acquisition part 2. We began yesterday. Today we want to look at the legal aspect of things. And if you've purchased a land and you're having challenges, Listen, forgive us. Something's happening in the studio. I couldn't help it, but okay. So we're talking about land acquisition. We're talking about the legal aspect of things this morning. Maybe you've purchased a land from a chief somewhere or from an individual who has subleased the land to you, and there are challenges. You want to know what the law says, how protected you are under the law. This is your conversation. Ask any question and then get the right answers. But Lawyer Miracle, again, looking at the authority chiefs have, I mean, you know that I dare say we even revere chiefs. So looking at the authority that chiefs have, looking at how much reverence we give to chiefs, how well protected are people when it comes to acquisition of lands, especially under the law?
Yes, Dave. The law protects each and every person that wants to acquire land, because before the law, we are all equal.
Okay.
There's no difference in treating a chief from an ordinary citizen of the country. And so if a chief or somebody who sells land dupes you, or he takes your money and doesn't give you the right documentation, you have every right under the law.
Don't say he's an ohene or a chief.
No.
Listen, so take particular notice of this. I mean, you have a right under the law, especially the new land law. Don't say the person is a chief and therefore Chalo Jabanaka. Take action, legal action, and then you will win your case. Please go ahead.
Yes, you win your case because the law does not, as I said, does not treat each as differently. And I know that at the Asantehene Land Secretariat, once a chief takes your money and doesn't give you the land or the right documentation, you can petition. If you don't want to go to the Asantehene Land Secretariat, you can prosecute the person, report the chief or the person to the police, and they take it as a criminal offense.
Simple.
It's simple.
But would you say that Ghanaians are very much aware of this law?
The education is still ongoing. Most people, it's just some few sections or provisions in the law that created some agitation that people began to ask questions. But when it comes to the step-by-step process of acquiring land validly, most people are in the dark.
So Sam, tell me, why is it so? How come there's this law?
Yeah.
People want to buy land, they're being given raw deals, and yet there's a law that protects them and they're not taking advantage of it.
Well, Ghana as a country has had several laws enacted to govern its land sector administration over the years since the colonial administration right through the various governments. There were several different laws, and then we as a country, it was good. It was a good thing we came out with the Lands Act 2020
yeah,
to kind of consolidate all these laws. It's a lot. I printed it out and it was a whole big book, right?
Yeah. And
it sits on my table, and every day I read a little bit of it, right? Because it's a lot. And so you would say that it's quite voluminous, and but there are some nitty-gritties that you need to know,
okay,
before you acquire land.
Okay.
Before you acquire land, you have to do a little bit of investigation, and I'll borrow from my learned colleague here. They would always mention something, the caveat emptor, and they would say that the buyer should beware. And the caveat emptor is not just for land. I mean, even if you are buying a car, you would have to do your investigation. You go with your mechanic, check the chassis, make sure the VIN is okay, it's not a stolen car, it's not an accident car, You make sure you are buying from the right source. I mean, you do your like little investigation. It's the same thing with the land.
Okay.
I mean, if you feel like you don't have the knowledge, they are always experts.
Okay.
You have lawyers, people. There are some lawyers that even specialize in land law. You have surveyors. With the GHIS, you have estate surveyors. We have land surveyors. You have licensed surveyors. In some cases, you even have planners, right?
Okay.
And so these are all people that work in the land sector space, and that you can call on them.
Okay.
And so it's like you shouldn't be in the dark. If you don't know something, you can always ask.
It's
always access to an expert. Thank you. So you don't have to read the whole voluminous law, but at least the basic things that helps you to buy land and buy it like without like throwing your money away, without getting duped, and going to the right sources. Sometimes Ghanaians feel like, at a time I worked at Mensha for the past 10 years. I used to be at Mensha too, and Mensha is a public office. The land secretariat there is a public office. Anybody could just walk there. You have people who feel like, hey, I can't go to Mensha. Exactly. You can always go there. There's a nice setup. I mean, people are even surprised. Like, do you have computers at Mensha? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we need computers to work, right? Yeah. So it's all about people's perception of the whole thing. They make it look like a gray area, but it's not a gray area. I mean, it's serious investment. Like,
most definitely. So let me come to you, Lawyer Americo, and ask you to give us some education, because you are the lawyer here, and there's this new land law that is operating. And so take your time and educate us on the new land law. I mean, that protects buyers of land from fraudsters, including chiefs. Because some of the chiefs themselves, sell lands to multiple people and all that. I know that there's an area where it talks about a fine of 180,000 Ghana cedis or a jail term of up to 15 years applicable. And what circumstances do these laws apply? Help us appreciate it. I mean, so the law says if care is not taken, if you do fraudulent acts when it comes to the sale of land, you can be in prison for up to 15 years, and then you might also be made to pay a fine of 180,000. What does the new land law really say in terms of this?
Yes, Dave. The land law, as Sam said, is a consolidation of several laws that were made, some in 1960, 1980, that has been brought together.
Okay.
So it is nothing new, only that some of the provisions have been tightened, some have been included. We all know that chiefs give problems to a lot of people who acquire land.
I don't find myself in trouble, so some chiefs.
Some chiefs, yes. Some chiefs. You buy land today, tomorrow you want to go onto the land to develop. You see another person also claiming to be the owner of the same land.
Yeah.
But it is someone who sold the land to these two individuals. And so the law provides that it is illegal, it is a criminal offense for anybody to sell the same land to two or more persons.
Okay.
And the reason is simple, that if I have plot number 1, block D, Kasi, and I transfer the land to Mr. O, I don't have the same land to transfer to any other person again. And so in law we say that you cannot give what you do not have. And so the moment you transfer the land, you are no longer the owner of the land.
That is the chief.
That is the chief.
Okay.
That interest that you transferred is gone.
Okay.
And so the moment you try to transfer to another person, it means that you are committing an offense. You are trying to pretend to be the owner of the land when you are actually not the owner. And so once you do that and you take a second person's money, it means you've committed an offense.
And that's how come the 180,000 fine or the up to 15 years jail term applies.
You
didn't say my law though.
Forgive me.
You didn't say my law though. Yeah, you didn't say my law though.
He's in a courtroom.
I have court to this morning, so
I understand. Yeah.
My mind. So if you look at section 12 of the Land Act,
okay.
And Dave, it's not much. Let's go through protection of land and interest in land.
Okay.
It says that a person who has no interest in land, if you do not have interest in land, you may have been the owner of the land, But once you transfer it to a different person, you've lost that interest.
Okay.
And so section 12(1)(b) says that a person who has no interest in land and BI extorts money or other benefit from a person who has an interest in land or prevents a developer from developing the land, commits an offense.
Okay.
And is liable on summary conviction to a term of imprisonment of not less than 5 years and not more than 15 years.
Okay.
Yes. So if you don't have an interest in land and you try to prevent the person from undertaking any development of the land, you have committed an offense.
So here, when you talk about the person who is preventing somebody from developing a land that he has acquired legitimately,
yes,
the law says you can be in prison for 5 to 15 years.
Yes.
Now, let's say I have acquired my land.
Yes.
Okay. Now, but before I even ask this question, the earlier one I asked a question on, where you try to explain to us as to under circumstances where the 180,000 will be paid or the up to 15 years imprisonment will be paid and all that. Where we know that a chief has sold one particular land to multiple people. If I have bought the land genuinely from a chief, and that chief has unscrupulously sold the land to another person,
yes,
if I find out, I should not go bring land guards. I should not pick up machetes on the land and fight, because that's what some people do. They fight on the site. I should rather leave Boko, go to the chief and tell the chief that, chief, the land you gave me, somebody is also developing the land.
Yes.
He doesn't give you any tangible reason as to why the person is there. Go to court. That's what it is.
That is it.
We should not fight over land.
There's no need to
at
fight.
The site.
There's no need to fight. Sometimes people say that he has stolen my land. Land does not move. So if you say that somebody has stolen your land, it means he has taken it away. But the land is where it is.
Okay.
So land cannot be stolen.
So instead of fighting over land on the site where machetes and guns are fired and all that, go to court on your matter.
Yes.
The law protects you. It's as simple as that.
As simple as that.
Now again, you're talking about people who somebody who want to prevent the developer from developing the land.
Yes.
Okay. And that one, the law says, well, it's between 5 to 15 years jail term. In that same regard, for example, that I buy a land from a chief, and let's say the chief dies.
Yes.
Another chief takes over.
Yes.
And when he takes over, I want to go on my land at that time when he has taken over to develop my land.
Yes.
He comes and says, don't develop the land.
Yes.
He's preventing me.
Yes. That is wrong. Because it is not the chief in person as an individual who sold the land to you. It is the stool that sold the land to you.
Okay.
And we all know that stools in Ghana do not die. They are corporate souls. They do not die. And so if one occupant dies, the stool is still there.
There's a successor.
So, Dave, let's take it that Love FM, I come and have an advertisement agreement with Love FM. The CEO then signs the agreement. Tomorrow, if the CEO may have resigned or is no more working with Love FM, retired, does it mean that I don't have a contract with Love FM?
You do.
I do. And so if the chief through whom I acquired the land from the stool have abdicated or have died or is no longer the chief,
has been destooled
for one reason or another, it doesn't mean that I don't have a contract with the stool.
Okay. And
so the new chief cannot come and say that he does not recognize what his predecessor did.
Okay.
That contract is still valid.
It's still binding. And so, listeners, this is our conversation. I mean, people are buying or acquiring lands and they're being given raw deals and all that. Like I said to you yesterday, today we want to focus on the legal aspect of things, and that's why we're going this tangent. If you have purchased a land or acquired a land, and there are some legal issues that is beating your mind on it, or there are some things that's happening pertaining to the acquisition of the land that you want to know whether the law protects you, ask questions. Our WhatsApp number is 055-1111-995. Again, it is 055-1111-995. Ask questions about your land. Charlie, you acquire it easily. You'd hard and cash to get it, so protect it. Yes, sir, Mr. Sam.
So, just like you were saying, the question you asked him about the chiefs, the predecessors, and so that's why we admonish people to finish their registration processes. Because you realize that there are lots of people, like you take 1,000 people that have tried to acquire land or have acquired land. I could tell you that about now 900 of them haven't even initiated any processes to register their documents.
That's why I began to ask whether it's cumbersome or easy to do.
Well, it's a bit
because some of them see them
as processes are being
ironed out,
and it's becoming easier and easier now, right? And so you'd have to complete it, because you see, if you don't complete it, you don't have any protection under the law.
Okay.
The law is protecting people it recognizes.
Okay.
So, you remember the big book I mentioned, right? It's like the book of life. Your name has to be in there so that you can be protected by the law. I mean, like, if you're an entity and you're out there and the law doesn't know you, it's difficult for someone to defend you, right? So it's important to always finish your registration.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
If I may come in
Please
on the punishment for a chief selling land to two or more persons.
Okay.
It's section 277 of the Land Act. 277 subsection 2. It says a person who purposes to make a grant of land to which that person has no title. That is one. Purpose to make a grant of land without authority. And C, makes conflicting grants. That is where you make the same, you sell the same land to two or more persons.
Yeah.
Makes conflicting grant in respect of the same piece of land to more than one person. And the punishment is the person commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 7,500 penalty units and not more than 15,000 penalty units.
Convert that into jail term or CD equivalent for this?
CD equivalent, you multiply, a penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Currently.
Okay.
So 7,500 cedis times 12.
Okay.
And you get the amount.
Okay.
That is the minimum
amount.
And the maximum is 15,000 penalty units.
So don't fight over land anymore where you pull out, cutlasses or machetes or guns and you are firing, each other, killing each other and all that. It is not worth it. It is not worth it in any sense of the word. So instead of you cutting each other into pieces and killing each other and maiming each other, why don't you go to court? Because you are protected under the law. It's as simple as that.
So, Dave,
yes, sir.
7,000 penalty units times 12 is 84,000.
84,000, yes.
Yeah.
So that is the minimum.
Yeah, it will be between 84,000 to 180,000.
Yes,
that's what it is. It is 84,000 to 180,000, or a prison term of between 5 to 15 years.
No, there is 7 years minimum, not less than 7 years.
But up to what, 15 years?
And not more than 15 years.
So,
or both. So you can be made to pay a fine penalty and still go to jail.
So be mindful of that. If you're a chief, be mindful of this. But one aspect of the law that excites me again has to do with, is it the Article 47, where it talks about couples. Because you know that there are instances where people who, are married, once you're married, you want to do things together in terms of getting property. And so, yes, Section 47 of that law.
Yes.
Section 47 of that law.
Yes.
What does it say? Please read it out for us. Section 47.
Section 47. The heading is restrictions on transfer of land by spouse.
Restriction of transfer of lands by spouse. So your husband. And I'm told that when this law came up, many husbands were not happy with this. many husbands were not happy with this. So if you're a husband and you think that you're not happy with it, let it be your happiness. Because if you flout the law, you'll be dealt with. What does the Section 47 say?
But why is it husbands? My wives can also be called
many times it's husbands. Many of the time it's the husbands. Have you heard or read? When I was reading about this for the conversation today, I didn't come across a situation where wives were not comfortable. It's oftentimes the husbands who are not comfortable with it. So men, they do be man. So what does the Section 47 say, please?
Yes, Dave, before I read.
Yeah.
Let me give a preamble.
Okay.
The provision of the law is that once a property is acquired during the subsistence of a marriage.
When you are married.
The law assumes that
You acquired it together.
Yes, the property was acquired together.
Even if it's a man who's paid for it.
Yes.
The law says the two of you acquired it together.
You acquired it together.
That's why the men are not happy.
But it could also have been the woman
who acquired it.
I don't think it's a fair law.
And unless
you say it's not a fair law.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Well, go and do contrary to what the law says then.
Yeah, it has to be changed.
I beg you, go ahead.
And unless there's a written agreement that between the spouses, that, for example, I am acquiring this property. My wife have agreed that as for this property is mine alone. She does not own it together with me. If that agreement exists.
Now you agree that men argue on this one.
Yeah, I don't.
Now,
please, what does the section 47
let's
say?
go to section 47.
Yes, sir.
In the absence of a written agreement to the contrary by the spouses in a marriage, a spouse shall not, in respect of land, right or interest in land acquired for valuable consideration during marriage, sell, exchange, transfer, mortgage, or lease the land, right or interest in land, or enter into a contract for the sale, exchange, mortgage, lease, or lease of the land, right or interest in the land, without the written consent of the other spouse, which consent shall not be unreasonably withheld. So in sum, you cannot use your property to secure a loan. You cannot transfer it or sell it. You cannot do anything with the land if it was acquired during marriage without the consent in writing of the other spouse.
So if you're a wife right now, you're listening to us, you're still in marriage, right? Maybe there might be some misunderstandings, but you're still in marriage. And your husband worked, he says he worked harder, he acquired the land. He acquired the land on behalf of the two of you. Once the land has been acquired, when the two of you are still married, he cannot sell it, mortgage it, lease it, or do whatever he wants to do with it without your consent.
But I have a question for
we're learning.
Because like you are married, right? You can still buy a land and decide that it's just going to be David Akute on the documents. So the allocation is done for him. Yes. He goes to mention.
Is it with the consent of the woman or without the consent of the woman?
With or without?
What does the law say, Labreku?
No. I mean, I'm getting to my question.
The consent of the spouse.
Of the spouse.
So his question, you land on your question.
Let me land on my question. So David goes, buys the land whilst he's married, puts his name there with consent of the wife.
That is my land.
Your land. Okay. It's your land. So that may talk land.
Because without her consent, it is not my land, it's our land.
Yes. But listen to my question. That may talk land. Okay. And some women don't mind. They're like, Faudin, you buy the land, you put up a structure on it, and you're like, you couldn't complete the structure, so you want a mortgage from a bank to finish it, like a home finishing mortgage or something. And then you go to mention and say, okay, this is my lease. I want to get a consent to mortgage it to a bank so that I can get money to finish the house. Yes. And I want to ask lawyer how the law treats that, because he bought it while he was married, but it's only his name that appears. And when he was going to get the consent for the mortgage at Meshia, he didn't inform the wife.
Speak to your wife and go.
Exactly. If the name of the wife is not appearing on the original document.
No, that has been provided under Section 38. Section 38.
It says
3. In a conveyance for valuable consideration of an interest in land that is jointly acquired during the marriage, the spouses shall be deemed to be parties to the conveyance unless a contrary intention is expressed in the conveyance. Okay. Let's go to 4, which answers the question very well. Where contrary to subsection 3, a conveyance is made to only one spouse, that spouse shall be presumed to be holding the land or interest in the land in trust for the spouses.
In trust?
Yes. So whether the other spouse's name is on the document or not, the law assumes that the name is there.
Then that one is good, because you are holding in trust for her. So
yes,
you should be.
So men be informed and be guided on this. Be informed and be guided.
But there are ways around it, you know.
There are ways.
But that one won't teach it here.
And also for information, it also has a fine. It has prison terms as well. It falls within the 84,000 to 180,000, and then the 7 to 15 years maximum and all that. So husbands or spouses, be guided. Don't give your partner any raw deal. All right. So let's talk about the all the documents you have, and you want to go on your land and you want to start work. Some of the chiefs will come and want to pester your life. Even some of their small guys at the palace. Give me the digging fee, and all that. Under the law, what does it say?
Dave, that is under section. We read it already. Section where we were talking about section 12.
The person without
the person without an interest in land and trying to prevent you from developing
or extorting money.
Or extorting money.
Okay.
So section 12(1)(bi) says that if a person who has no interest in the land extorts money or other benefits from a person who has an interest in the land, so it's an offense.
So don't pay any digging fee to anybody. No. Once you acquire the land legitimately, your documentation is intact. Nobody can prevent you from doing any work on the land.
What is digging fee, by the way? What is it?
You are into this business. You should tell me.
I know it's prevalent in Accra, but it's. I don't even know why people do that.
So that's your information. So once I have my land documentation, everything, at what point in time can I start, developing my land? I'm asking this because again, the issue of, you have the land. I'm giving you 2 years or 3 years to develop it. So once I have my documentation intact, at what point in time am I required to develop my land?
Yes, Dave. Once you have all the valid documentation, you need to go further to obtain building permits from the relevant district assembly. Once you have your building permit, you have to start developing.
I don't have the money yet.
If you don't have money, and the agreement says start and complete within a certain period, you have to go back and renegotiate that period because it's part of the contract.
Yeah.
Land acquisition is a contract. People forget. They think that once they have acquired the land, it's for them forever. It's a contract. So each clause or each term or condition in that contract will have to be complied with.
So what you're saying is this: if I acquire land from a chief,
yes,
and per the documentation of the contract, I'm supposed to develop the land within 3 years or start doing something within 3 years.
Yes.
I am not able to do it within 3 years. What I need to do is to go back to the chief.
Yes.
And speak to the chief.
Let's
say for whatever reason I forget, I don't engage with the chief.
Yes.
Can the chief take the land from me?
Once you breach, in law we call it to be a breach. We see it to be a breach of the contract. The chief can now start, we call it re-entry process.
Okay.
Because you have not complied with the terms of the contract.
Oh, okay.
But he cannot just walk one day and say that I've taken the land.
What does the process
entail? He has to give you a notice, write you a letter, informing that by our contract, you should have finished development within 3 years.
Okay.
We are in the 5th or 6th year. You have not done it. So I'm giving you additional time to remedy the situation, to complete it. You still don't complete.
So let's say he doesn't start this process. He just comes and says, well, per our agreement, you're supposed to do something within 2 or 3 years. You haven't done it socially. Can that happen?
No, he can't do that.
He can't do that.
He has to inform you first.
Okay, so if that is happening to you somewhere as you listen to us, it should not be happening. Go to court on it. Can I sublease my land to somebody? Can I will my land to somebody? How do I do it without stress?
Yes, for sublease, assuming your land you had 99 years, you can sublet, let's say 50 years to another person, but with the consent of the lessor or the chief from whom you acquired the lease. So you have to write to the chief. For example, if it's Ledan in Kumasi, you write to Asantene's Land Secretariat that I want to transfer part of my interest to a different person. And the chief and Asantene, after looking at the documentation and the transaction, if they agree, they will give you the
Would that be a crime if I don't, inform Asantene's office?
It is not a crime, but it is a breach of the contract.
Okay. I hear you.
It's not a crime.
Well, listen, like we said yesterday, we talked about land acquisition, we talked about the registration, we talked about the security of the land or securing it and all. We said that when it comes to land purchases, again, what we need to be doing is to ensure that we are not giving a raw deal. And so we said we're going to have the legal aspect of the conversation today, which of course we've just had. If there's anything that is still beating your mind, that you want answers to, you can call us on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-835-98. Those are our numbers, all right? If there's any legal question you want an answer to, call us now and get your answer. Again, it is 03220-835-96, 03220-835-97, and 03220-835-98. We're talking about legalities when it comes to land acquisition. Mansour, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Eve.
And I trust you're well.
I'm doing great, Mr. Dave.
Hey, Mansour.
Mr. Dave, I want to ask this question because in our Zongo communities, it's been happening. It's very, very rampant in our Zongo community. And the question is it right to buy a room in a house? And if it's yes, how do you go about it? Because people are buying rooms in houses. I don't know whether it is right or not. So I just want to find out.
To buy a home in a house, whether it is possible. I hear you. Let's speak to Kofi. Kofi, good morning. Hello, Kofi.
Hello.
Yes, Kofi, good morning.
Morning.
Let's hear you, Kofi.
Yes. Yesterday, I told you that if you go to Tumfor's Mansia Land Secretariat, things are smooth there. But if you get to Government Lands Commission office, the one at the post office area, that is where it becomes cumbersome. If you go to the Lands Commission office, things over there is also smooth. So the difficulty is at the lands office close to the post office. I don't know. You'll be given a letter from Tumfor's Land Secretariat to go to the Government Lands Office for a search. And you pay monies that you are not supposed to pay. Pay this here, pay this, that, pay this. Even the person who is going to bring the map, if you don't give him money, he will not bring the map. But that is the reason he is being paid. And the officer there, up there, when you go there, he will come to work at 10, read newspapers till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, break.
Tuga, good morning to you and welcome, sir.
Good morning, David.
Hi, Tuga.
Yeah. Please, I just want to ask, looking at the law that has been passed, talking about if you are married and there's a problem, the law assumes that and you have a property, the law assumes that you acquired it together. I just want to bring this scenario. Let's assume that all our documents, for instance, I'm using my personal experience, that we have property and all the properties are in the name of my wife and myself. But I acquire another property personally without my wife's involvement, and it bears only my name.
Hold on. Tuga, when you acquire that property, are you still married to the woman?
Yes, but let me land. Please, let me land. So all our properties, it bears the name, the two of us, our cars, other properties. So if there's a problem, and let's say it tends to be a court issue, and I present the fact that all other properties, it bears the two of us are named, but this one is it bears only my name. Won't the law say that the matter speaks for itself, that all our properties, it bears the two of us are named, but this one, it was acquired solely by me.
But that is why I wanted to have that clarity when I asked that question. That property, were you still married to that same person?
Yes.
Simple. So now you get your answer. Don't worry. Once you're still married with the person, the law says the thing is before the two of you. We'll give you an answer shortly, Tuga. Thank you very much. And Lawyer, please note it down for me. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, Matthew. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Yeah. In fact, I have concern. I bought land somewhere in Kumasi here. And that time, 2005, that time, it was a committee put in place that saw to the sale of the land for development of the community. There was no chief then, so the committee was put in place to do that. So recently, a chief was instituted, and he is saying that because there was no chief, I couldn't get the papers to the land. So now I need my papers. He's saying that I should come and pay money again before papers can be given to me. I don't know whether I'm right or they are wrong, or they are right or I'm wrong.
Whether you are right and they are wrong, or vice versa, the answer is coming up your way shortly, Matthew. Keep listening to Love 99.5. Opoku Ejiman, you are next. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Good morning, Mike. This how are you doing?
This is David, and I'm well.
Hey, sorry, David. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, today it has been a very interesting conversation. And let me say hi to Mr. Kingsley Alsan. I think he's doing a very great job in Kumasi here. And then my learned colleague too, the lawyer, has done very well this morning. And I think that Dave, this conversation is a very important conversation, and I will plead with you that I think it should be something continuous, because today I've learned a lot, so many things that I didn't know. So I want to say very thank you for bringing such a program for us to also learn. But one thing I've noticed is that, like it was stated, the process is so cumbersome. You know, a very poor man somewhere doing something small, then you have gotten money to buy a piece of land to develop, so that at least you and your family can have a place to stay. And then there will be so much confusion. And I think that looking at the process, you go here, you go there, you go there, that makes people feel lazy trying to test the law. So I think that our lawyers should continue to educate us on this. And then also lawyers, I'm pleading with them that they will always make themselves available for us so that we can approach them easily. And then the charges and the cost maybe that we will pay sometimes also scare us. Because sometimes we feel like testing the law. But the end of testing the law does not favor the ordinary Ghanaian. You know, you go to court and then they will drag you an issue that you are supposed to just use maybe 1 week to deal with it can take about 3 years.
Well, like the saying goes, when it comes to the lawyers, they say whatever grinds slowly,
the wheels of justice
grind slowly. But at least whether you like it or not, it will grind to a halt one day.
Yes.
Frank, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Welcome, sir.
Yes. Yes. May I know the position of the law in respect of the chief who ascends the throne and says that his predecessor's contract with any other person has been cancelled, so you come and then commence a new contract, and for that matter, you pay for lands that you acquired under his predecessor.
All right, your answer is coming up. But the point is, Frank, you ought to make sure that when you acquire the land, your documentation is complete. No chief can come and stress you. But the lawyer, I say he's going to address it for you. Kwame, good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, David, and thank you very much. David, one land cruiser costs far more than a plot of land at Achimoboko. But if I go to Toyota Ghana today and make payment for one land cruiser, nobody can contest that sale and purchase of the land cruiser. Why can't we just make one-stop payment? I make payment here and everything is sealed, everything is done. Why can't that be done, David?
You have an answer, Sam. All right, so thank you very much, Kwame. Your answer is coming up, and we can't pick any more calls for no time. For information, we're going to have the final part of this conversation tomorrow. Tomorrow, the lawyer is going to be here again. We're going to have Sam here again. We're going to have our friends from the 24 Land Secretariat with us again. It's going to be a big conversation tomorrow as we wrap up on the issue of lands. All right, so that's coming up your way tomorrow. But the answer to Kwame's question.
Okay, Kwame, thank you very much for your question. To answer that, it's from my perspective, I'm going to delve more into technology, because land has layers of interest, right? Because the same land we are talking about, there's an allodia, which is the stew or the skin, okay? Mm-hmm. And there are other people that enjoy certain rights to the land. That same land we are talking about, the government takes property tax, and you need to register it. You need to pay other things. There are community development fees. That same land, the district assembly also takes some form of levies from the land, ground rent and stuff like that. And so if you talk about a one-time payment, what we have to do is to use technology so that when you make a one-time payment fee, then the money is sort of like a central pool, and then it is disbursed.
Okay.
So that the client is good.
It's like satisfied.
You pay 100,000, like, oh, this person gets 50 CDs, this person gets this person gets that. But it takes a lot of work because you are looking at several players.
Listeners, what we're going to do is this. I know some of you have asked questions. We're looking at our time. We might not be able to answer all your questions. We haven't even gone on to our WhatsApp console yet to listen to people and their contributions. So for the WhatsApp console, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to those contributions. We'll give you responses tomorrow. Please bear with us. We'll give you responses tomorrow. So make a date with us tomorrow. You'll learn something new tomorrow anyway. So join us tomorrow. But lawyer, you have the questions in front of you. Very quickly, let's run through them.
Yes, Mansour asked ownership of a room in a house in the Zongo communities.
He said, can you own a home in a house?
No, a room.
A room in a house.
In a house in the Zongo.
Yeah, Zongo community. It says it's happening. The law allows it because there can be joint ownership of property.
Okay.
And so, just as you can own a store in a chain of stores, it's possible.
Okay.
You only have to document it well.
Yeah.
Put it into writing.
Document it well.
Yes.
Okay.
For us as professionals, as surveyors, as built environment professionals, taking my legal side, putting it aside, we call it a condominium.
A condominium. Okay.
Or you can take it to be slit flats.
Yeah, or it's a space.
It's a space that you are owning. So it's possible, it can be done.
Measure it.
So good. So let's rush through the questions from please.
Lands Commission and Lands Department. I don't know because Lands Commission is no longer at
the post office.
At the post office.
I think he was referring to the survey department.
Yes, they are now at
because
Bridge.
he mentioned maps and post office.
So reading of newspapers and coming to work later.
And Tuga, my answer to that question is that your question is that once the property was acquired during the marriage,
Tuga, listen, joint property. Tuga, listen carefully. That's what the law says. So
it is a joint.
Whether it's in your name or in the name of you and your spouse, it is for the two of you. Once you are still married.
That's the question I asked.
Exactly. So Tuga, why?
Yes. And then Matthew asked plot allocation committees when there was no chief in the community. If the plot allocation committee gave you a valid land document, the chief is supposed to recognize it. It's like when the stool is vacant and a regent is appointed. Any transaction that the regent...
In his case, if I remember vividly or correctly, there was no documentation given.
If there's no documentation, then you have land.
And then there's a new chief.
There could have been a receipt. It's a document because we see once you go to the land, it's like an IMC. It's an interim management committee, right? So whatever they do, they are supposed to record.
So if you don't,
there should be a track.
If you're not giving any documentation, once you have a receipt,
you can use it.
You can use it to make your case. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yes, and I want to answer Frank. Frank is talking about reissuance of allocation notes or allocation papers by chiefs.
A new chief. Who's taking over from,
so he said it was a committee that gave him that.
No, we've talked about one.
We are talking about Frank.
We're current too. You are in the past.
So my answer to that is that we've already said it. It is the stool from whom you acquired the land.
But again, bottom line, make sure that your documentation was complete.
Yeah.
If it was not complete, they will use a bit of a clause against you.
Yes.
But if it was complete,
they also have that problem where some unscrupulous people around them, the chiefs, try to backdate and use old allocation.
That is fraudulent.
Yes. That's fraudulent.
That is fraudulent.
So they also have that problem. So it's
because once you go through the process of completing your documentation,
yes,
if he does any alteration, it will expose him.
Yeah, but if you leave the allocation note, people, graphic designers can design allocation note and backdate it.
But like we've said, listen, we'll have a final bit of the conversation tomorrow. The two first land secretariat people will come. Lawyer will be here. Lawyer, will you be here? Lawyer will be here. And then Sam will be here. Sam will be here, and then we'll wrap up tomorrow beautifully. Thank you very much for agreeing to be here. Well, ready to treat your callers to good tunes while you win incredible rewards. Earn points by purchasing, renewing, copying, or gifting your favorite caller tunes, and you can win amazing prizes based on your total accumulated points. Yep. Build as many points as possible. And you can win tons of data to stay connected to the things you love, or you can win an amazing 10,000 Ghana cedis cash prize to splash on your favorite things. It's a perfect way to entertain your callers with music and get rewarded at the same time. Start collecting your Caller Tunes points today. So visit Caller Tunes, and Caller Tunes is CALLERTUNEZ.mtn.com.gh, or just dial *1355# to get started on the MTN Caller Tunes service. Promo lasts till the 7th of October 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Please don't forget that. Meanwhile, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into sales of ultra silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA, and they undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel engine generators. Now, they also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators, and also do generator rentals. You can find them at TAT Yard of the Mayanka Road at Asokwa, or in Accra you can find their head office at number 77 Anointed House of the Odoko Malam Road. Call them on 0243-480-334 or 0544-340-589. We've got some messages for you, and then we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7 for the Super Morning Show. Well, hello, Kumasi. Get ready for an experience at the newly constructed Ahonjo Goa Filling Station. Now, the Ahonjo Goa Filling Station will be open to the public. In fact, it was open to the public on the 25th of August 2023. It was a Friday. So they are now giving free fuel to all drivers, both private and commercial. Now, they are giving 2 gallons free fuel to 30 drivers in the morning from 6 a.m. and 2 gallons free fuel to 30 drivers in the evening from 4 p.m. It began on the 1st of September. It's ending on the 10th of September. Today is the 6th, so you know you've got 4 more days to go. This is free fuel for 60 cars a day for 10 days. That's free fuel for 600 cars. That's not all. They're also giving drivers free t-shirts, free key holders, and exercise books for their kids, and free textiles for their wives. Not your girlfriends, so your wives. And they are not just filling your tanks, they are fueling your experience. Now, their experienced and friendly staff are there to ensure that your visit is nothing short of an exceptional, from helping you, with your fueling needs to answering any questions you might have. So the next time you want to buy fuel, drive straight to the newly constructed Ahonjo Fueling Station for an experience. Well, good energy. Now, what is your preferred color of tag? Syntex has it. What guarantee do you want? Syntex has it. What kind of inner layer do you want? Is it double, triple, quadruple? Well, as many inner layers as possible, Syntex has it too. So remember, no matter what your water needs are, Syntex has it. Syntex tank are stronger, are tough. Now, they have over 300 agents nationwide. And so to order a tank, all you need to do is to call 0244-335-168. Visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana, or you can shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank are strong. Tough. All right, Bigo drink is out there on the market, and a lot of people are enjoying it. So wake up to a new taste of Bigo Cola. Nothing comes close to Bigo Cola, a drink of joy, both cold and sweet. Bigo drink is a range of soft drinks developed, bottled, and distributed in Ghana by Trillium Industrial Ghana. Bigo Cola drink offers a great taste and a superior value for its customers, or for its consumers. Now, for your parties, your weddings, your funerals, and all your beautiful occasions, reach out for Bigo drinks. For the school children, trust me, I bet you that is the best drink of choice. So anytime you want to drink or quench your thirst, reach out for Bigo Cola and feel the taste of nature. For bulk purchases, please call 03-221-90877. A quality product from Trillium Industries. Now, if you want to have an answered question for you relating to your land acquisition under the law, blah blah blah, tomorrow the final conversation, the final bit will come your way. But for now, we've got some messages for you, and then we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.74. The conversation on the Super Morning Show is about Alan Kyerematen's withdrawal from the MPP flag bearership race. What's your take on it? It comes up your way later this morning. Stay tuned.
Wudinya passengers na hotel pao. Wuni maniji semu a air course wo Kumasi Ahonjo runabout Gwel filling station akawani kura jasne me. Sir, wo be cha driver for commercial and private. Fuel free. Obi 2 gallons. Debut mantini ye. Ahonjo runabout Gwel filling station fefefe bi a wo bi enfofo no. E be cha free fuel. Daben a free Friday 1st September ya. Anopa bia 6 a.m. 30 cars free and anwumre bia 4 p.m. 30 cars free. Etidakro 60 cars for 10 days. yes. Just a free fuel for 600 cars. Sapepe Nanso wow. Was such a drop for and Tomakuma Moirenum. Asacha Wamu t-shirts, key holders, and the books Akuma Mama. A drop for Yen. Whether you do heavy or Shasia Tonfu from Friday 25th August. Now Friday 1st September no grand opening. 1st September no na free fuel and ya chediana a trousers. A hodo roundabout Guaya filling station. A drop for you see. Yenya Mudenie. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, Yenya Yedim.
Hey, are you worried about your parties, weddings, hangouts, on what drink to enjoy for the celebration? Or you're worried about how to celebrate your friends and family during that special occasion? Bigo. Now that is Bigo. With Bigo, no wahala for the occasion. They made it for everyone to enjoy and have the ideal celebration. Bigo, the soft drinks that comes in 16 and 20 in a pack. Hey, Charlie, that is Bigo. A lot to go around in various packs. It's refreshing and good quality. Now that is Bigo. The taste is Bigo. Another quality product from Twillium Industries Limited. This advert is FDA approved. Bigo.
Hip, hip, hip. Thank you. For my 62nd birthday, my wife and I will be traveling for our second honeymoon to Dubai. I have also decided to pay all my grandchildren's fee for the next academic year. In fact, prepare another cow and let the party continue.
What a party. Isn't Mr. Blagoji a pensioner?
Yes,
so where did he get all the money to do all that?
I heard it's because of New Generation Investment Services. They took care of his pension funds. I hear they also started the NGISM fund, which allows them to grow their investment and create wealth. They also have the Naso Mutual Fund, which I intend to sign on so I can sow today and reap tomorrow.
Don't be left out.
Visit us today at the first floor, Kokobo Jubilee House at Doom Kumasi, and the first floor of the first story building behind National Investment Bank, Sunyani, or visit www.ngis-group.com.
New Generation Investment Services, achieving excellent returns on your investment.
Owning a home is an accomplishment. When it comes to choosing our preference of living, we are faced with a dilemma. Will you go for affordability, comfort, or luxury?
Well, we will help you choose your preferred home at a very affordable and convenient way at the 2023 edition of the Love FM Republic Bank Habitat Fair. The Love FM Republic Bank Habitat Fair is slated for Friday, 6th October to Sunday, 8th October 2023 at the Kumasi City Mall, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day.
This event is brought to you by your superstation, Love 99.5 FM, in partnership with Republic Bank and supported by.
And there he comes, the man with many keys.
That's me, bro.
Safwahini.
One more critical key, and I'll be the most comfortable man. A key to my own home.
That's the one key you need. Just talk to the mortgage expert.
Republic Bank?
Oh, yeah. When you sign on to Republic Pension Backed Mortgage, you can own a home before you retire, you know.
Republic Pension Backed Mortgage, right?
It is fantastic. Good thing is, you get to use your Tier 3 pension contributions.
Wow. Soon, I'll also be a landlord.
For further info on Republic Pension Backed Mortgage, contact Republic Bank now. Republic Bank, we are the one for you.
PBC Industries are the producers of Leyland Paint. Finest paint with its quality has the finest prices, Home Charm, Wonder Coat and Gold Paint. Leyland Paint has changed the label design to a new one. But remember, it is the same quality since 1964.
Sunset Hotel has the best of accommodation, air-conditioned rooms to make your stay a memorable one. Sunset Hotel has introduced a live band session every Friday, Saturday and Sunday from 5 p.m. right till 10 p.m. which comes with a massive discount on our food, especially on our local dishes like fufu with a bunobunu going for 20 Ghana cedis. Sunset Hotel live band, there is nothing like it. Let's meet this and every weekend for your weekend's relaxation. We are located at Cedar Crescent at Denyame. Call us on 0207 228 455.
Are you building your own house, school,
church, store, or are you a building contractor? Then come to Pristodia Ghana Limited. We offer services like fabrication and installation of stainless steel balustrade, stainless gate and fence wall design, aluminium UPVC windows, burglar-proof glass and plastic canopies, frameless glass structure, frameless glass cubicle, frameless glass door, and all architectural metal works. Locate Pristodia Ghana Limited at Asokore Mampo, near Kumasi Academy and opposite the Garden City Commercial School. Call us on 0244 612 507.
Are you a breadwinner and worried about your family's future financial situation? Then allow yourself and your family to enjoy maximum peace of mind in the event of an unforeseen circumstances. What's more, in collaboration with Spectra Health Mutual Insurance Scheme, the Ultimate Protection Plus now offers you free imaging services such as ultrasound scan, CT scan, mammogram, X-ray, MRI, as well as discounted rate for medical interventional procedures and many more. Our sales team across the country is ready to help you take charge of your future today with the Star Life Ultimate Plus. You could call us on 0302 739 600 or WhatsApp us on 058 081 786. Star Life Ultimate Protection Plus. Protecting what you love.
At Lesh Fortune Limited, interior design and finishing is our passion with specialty in home, hotel, and office finishing. We have available quality curtains, blinds, carpets, and custom-made furniture. Lesh Fortune Limited is located at Plot 50 Otuajin Road, Kotobabi, Spintex. For more information, contact us on 0244 265 588 or 0302 811 163. Our email address is leshghana@yahoo.com. Lesh Fortune Limited, luxuriously perfect.
I heard it's because of New Generation Investment Services. They took care of his pension funds. I hear they also started the NGISM fund, which allows them to grow their investment and create wealth. They also have the Naso Mutual Fund, which I intend to sign on so I can sow today and reap tomorrow.
Don't be left out.
Visit us today at the first floor, Kokobo Jubilee House at Doom Kumasi, and the first floor of the first-story building behind National Investment Bank, Sunyani, or visit www.ngis-group.com.
New Generation Investment Services, achieving excellent returns on your investment.
City Park, a luxurious residential community harmonizing urban comfort with hometown charm, lies comfortably in Agri Kokode near Kwadaso Agri College. This prestigious enclave offers modern 2, 3, and 4-bedroom townhomes, including 24/7 security, large communal spaces, sports courts, swimming pools, a children's playground, and a clubhouse. City Park ensures a high standard of living. Book your private site tour today at info@cityparkgh.com or call or WhatsApp us on 0593 872 604. If abroad, you can call or text +1240 447 3024. City Park, a fienifie.
Kennedy Digital Satellite. He will offer promotions on air conditioning 1.5 horsepower, deep freezers from 500 liters to 900 liters, TVs 50 inches up to 75 inches, fufu machines, popcorn machines, sewing machines, gas cookers, microwaves, kettles, blenders, irons, stabilizers, and all kinds of decoders. All government workers under the Controller and Accountant General's Department can also visit our showrooms for a suitable payment plan for items purchased monthly. Locate us here in Kumasi, Family Plaza Building, first floor at Sedum, Patasi Adom House Building, first floor Kennedy Junction, or call us on 0244 385 128.
Africa Company Limited. We are dealers in high quality products like rack tiles, sanitary wares, jacuzzi, Ostrom light